Hello, welcome to the second episode of the Dog Pound Rundown. We are here to recap the previous week at Old Rochester Regional.
This week, we touched upon topics such as the OR Athletics Hall of Fame, the upcoming drama production, and the bottle drive being held by Mr. Pereira.
First, let's talk about the OR Hall of Fame. Every year, it's known throughout the district that OR is the team to beat to win the SEC. This reputation wasn't given, it was earned. Now, we have Bill Tilden discussing the OR Hall of Fame inductees.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at Old Rochester's High School. My name is Danny White, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about the Old Rochester Regional Athletic Hall of Fame committee that I'm on, and the upcoming events for the 2017 induction ceremonies, which will be held on June 24th of this coming year. I counted this morning, I think close to 47 inductees already in, and we have another 7 today?
7 individuals, a team,
today.
A significant contributor, and a coach. So a total of 10 this year. It's going to be a great class, 2017. We're here today to really celebrate our 10 inductees. So Bill, do you want to kick us off and talk about one of the athletes, or do you want me to talk a little bit more about the team? Or?
I'm excited about this class. I think every year when we have a new class, people go, are they as good as the originals? And I think, with going over 50 years of athletes, we have people that are getting in now that are just as good as many of the athletes that were in that very first class.
Yes.
And I think we'll still see that, for years to come.
Can I kick us off by talking about one?
Let's go.
Let's go. So one that I was particularly excited about was Tiffany Jawar, a track athlete. Graduated in 1993. I had the privilege of being able to throw alongside her and ride her coattails a little bit. She was just an absolutely amazing discus and shot putter. Winter track and spring track. She, in fact, went to the Laux meet, which Bill is intimately familiar with, but others may not be as much, which is a national meet that you qualify for down in New York, and she did an unprecedented thing there, which is she won the national meet, I think it was 3 years?
3 years starting her sophomore year.
Yeah, in the shot put. And so to win first place in a national meet 3 years is just unprecedented.
Another one that's here that was a thrower for Rochester was Brian Tonelli. He graduated in 2003. Very good thrower. He actually went down, competed down the Laux games also. Mm-hmm. I think everybody will much more remember him for his football.
Yeah,
But
Bill,
I think Craig Sherman was the one who said best lineman he's ever coached.
Yeah, Coach Sherman. I talked with him briefly about Brian, and Brian Tonelli graduated in 2003. He thought that, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, he thought it was the best lineman he's coached in his 18 plus years here at Old Rochester.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great football players.
And there's been a lot of great football players, but Brian actually was chosen to play in the Shriners game that was held in the spring, the following of I guess it would have been his senior year or his junior year. He was chosen to play, which is quite an honor.
Pat O'Connor graduated in 2004. His brother got in a couple of years ago. His brother was a track guy.
Bob O'Connor, right?
Bob.
Yep.
Amazing quarter miler. Pat was a total different, young man. Amazing running back. Single season rushing record for yards. Single season touchdown record. I think it was 20 touchdowns in the season.
Wow.
Really was one of those bangers that loved to hit people, took his hits. Ended up not playing his senior year because his shoulder was so torn up, which I know bothered Coach Sherman quite a bit because he knew, with what he had done his junior year. But he was better at baseball. We were playing down at Dexter Lane at the time that he was here. It's a ways away from the school, and we would still draw big crowds because they could not wait to just watch him hit home run balls so deep in the woods that nobody'd even go looking for him.
I think it might be interesting to talk about Eddie Walsh next, just because he was a contributor behind the scenes to football.
I didn't know he played football for Old Rochester, did he?
Oh, no, but
he coached. He's a long-time teacher. He was actually, I think, my teacher down at the junior high.
He was one of my teachers at junior high.
Exactly.
I
He was
think
one of my
started in the
coaches when
60s.
I was in high school. He coached when I was a senior.
Yeah, I think he started teaching in the 60s and, gravitated into sports. Never grabbed onto the head coaching role, but was a JV coach, was always around helping out whoever needed it.
And Mr. Walsh he's in this year for, as we call it, a significant contributor award.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about Andy Santos?
Sure.
Yes.
Great.
Here's a gentleman that was nominated as a coach, and we actually decided to select him as a coach and a contributor.
Golf coach, right?
Golf coach for quite a few years, really got us to step up in caliber so that we could compete at the state level, not just the local level. So we were winning SEC championships with him. We were qualifying state finalist. He's turned out many of the top area golfers around. But here's somebody that started out, I believe he was also in the 60s as the finance director here. And always was an avid proponent for sports, of making sure that sports were available not just to guys but also to girls. Has always been one of my biggest fans at the games. He'll travel around. He's always asking, where this team's doing, how that team's doing, how can we help out this young man. I mean, it wasn't always just about golf.
Let's go to another female inductee, because
Okay.
we have Susan Lake, class of 78, coming in.
Yeah.
Talked about earlier about Tiffany Jawar, so Susan's our second female athlete coming in to this class. She was really a pioneer on the women's sports side, one of the early terrific standout athletes, three-sport athlete, softball, field hockey, basketball. She earned 14 letters during her time at ORR, and just was a remarkable athlete. And
She was in 7th grade, and she was recruited to play, I don't know, with the freshman team or not. I don't think she played for the high school. She couldn't, could she?
No, she played varsity softball. She was a starting
Yes.
infielder as a 7th grader. And let's
Yes.
go Josh Meckler.
class of 2000, an absolutely tremendous soccer player. He did play basketball also, strong basketball player, 4 years, but really he earned his induction on the soccer pitch. 4-year All-Star, leading scorer 3 years, MVP 2 years. He played alongside Colin Cabral, who was inducted, I think it was 2 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Last
No,
year.
last year.
Last year.
Yep, it was last year.
Yeah.
And they
Colin.
really just were a tandem and a force to be reckoned with. Earned a scholarship to Merrimack College for his soccer prowess, and just an absolutely outstanding,
Yeah, he sent
the
us a nice
best or
picture.
second best. It was, I think, hard last year to
Yeah.
choose between them.
Paul Tinkham. He
Tank.
graduated
right?
in 1981, and he was nicknamed Tink. He was a two-sport athlete. He was on Buddy Thomas's 20 for 50 roster for both football and baseball from Old Rochester. Do you know him?
I've heard a lot of stories about him. He was one of those grinders out there that, enjoyed hitting people, loved the full contact of sport, could turn baseball into, what other position would a guy like that be besides a catcher?
He was a catcher,
down in
yes.
the dirt, and, played great ball, a great teammate. They say he never talked about the me portion of it. It was always about, what he could do to make the team better. Great hitter on the football field, great running back.
Said he was a captain of the football team in 1980 and 1981 for 2 years.
We have one more female, right, Bill?
Stephanie Roosh,
Yes.
one of the most amazing young ladies that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. Came in, had no expectations on herself at all. Ended up learning hurdles. I remember her being so shy about it that she would take a hurdle out into the foyer while the rest of the group was in the gym to try to teach herself so she wouldn't fall on her face. And she ended up being one of the premier hurdlers in the state of Massachusetts. Still ranked, I believe she's still ranked in the top 30 of all-time fastest times in the 55-meter hurdles. She's in the top 15 for the 60-meter hurdles. Went on to compete at both indoors and outdoor nationals. Best race I ever saw her run was her final race, senior year at the New England Championships. Just absolutely dominating the field like nobody else, belonged out there at the same time with her.
Best for last, in my opinion. State champs, girls basketball, my passion. I love hoops. This was the OR basketball team. They were 24-2 in 1998. Kate Osho, Tiffany Lopes, captains, Margaret Liliadal, a prominent player, Rhea De Silva, Bernadette Clark, Monica Vickers, Jill Almeida, Carla and Sheila Ferreira. I graduated just a couple years before them, so I remember quite a few of them.
You got them all down.
I didn't get to play with Margaret, but I got to play with Tiffany and Osho. They were freshmen when I was a senior, and Sarah Bork as well. But just a terrific team. Their only 2 losses were in the SEC against Apponequet, 24 victories otherwise. Dominant. They won that state championship, if I remember, by something like 20 points. Wow. So to get to that level of competition and 19. Then to, win by 19, it just speaks volumes to the number of just quality athletes, great size, great speed, great skill. 2 of their players have already been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Kate O'Shaughnessy was part of the first class that was inducted, one of those first 10 athletes. Amazing athlete in soccer and in basketball, and then also Margaret Liliadal, maybe the next year or shortly thereafter. Another just standout.
Well deserving. I mean, this was a matter of, it wasn't if, it was just a matter of when they were going to be inducted.
Yes.
And there's still a few more athletes on there, I think, that will find their way into the Hall of Fame.
That's absolutely.
Thank you for watching. So I think that pretty much does it.
Thank you, Steve Heath, for being
March 24th, 6:30 at ORR Gymnasium, the basketball alumni game. It'll be a great game.
Terrific.
All right, see you then.
Thank you.
Next, I pulled aside some performers from the Drama Club to talk about their upcoming production, Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Connor Farney here. I'm here with the stars of the upcoming drama play.
No!
What is the name of the play?
The name of the show is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Do you have any favorite scenes you like to share?
I like the Calypso number just because my best friend is the lead in that number, and I'm so proud of her.
What role do each of you play?
I am the narrator.
Joseph.
And I'm the other narrator.
Do you guys plan on doing this for the rest of high school?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
so. Mm-hmm.
Is this your first time having a lead role in a production?
So this is my 6th time having a lead, but this is my first time starring in a show.
How about you guys?
This is I played Scrooge in Christmas Carol back in the fall, or the winter rather. So this is my 2nd time probably.
Yeah, this is my first time having lead, but I've been in other productions.
No, not really.
How many hours have you guys been putting into this play? Have you guys been going crazy over this one, or has it been one of the more laid-back ones?
This is definitely a more stressful production, but all of our productions are relatively stressful just because we want them to look good and we want people to come see them.
Do you guys perform in anything other than the high school plays? Are you involved in any activities outside of school?
So right now I'm not doing anything, but in the fall I will be minoring in drama at Lesley University.
I do productions at Little Theater of Fall River.
What are your guys' characters like in the play?
So Ellie and I kind of just explain everything to the audience. Yeah, and we're kind of like Joseph's sidekicks.
Yeah, so he is the son of Jacob, and Jacob is kind of the founder of Israel, and he has 12 kids, and he likes Joseph the best out of all of them, which makes all of his brothers jealous. So they try to kill Joseph, and he ends up getting sold to slavery. And Joseph can can interpret what dreams mean. So if someone tells him their dream, he can say like the deeper message behind it.
Do you guys have any pre-production rituals that you perform before you go out there?
So all of the girls in the drama club stand in a circle and do this really girly chant, and the seniors get to stand in the middle, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And all of the guys meet in the band room, and they start banging on like chairs and stands and stuff, and they read the speech from 300.
That's a good tradition. What date does it premiere?
Our first show is March 30th. It continues through April 2nd. The first 3 shows, March 30th, 31st, April 1st, are at 7:30, and then April 2nd is at 2 o'clock.
I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you.
After their practice, Paul Sardinha sat down with us and talked to us about what goes into the drama club and their performance.
My name is Paul Sardinha. I am the drama club director. I've been the director for the drama club for 25 years.
No, not really. It's going to make the Queen look bad, and if anybody makes the Queen look bad, then they die. And I'm not about to lie, so I'm just going to not say anything at all. So you guys are in the same exact position as Joseph was at the very, very beginning.
Christopher LeBlanc and Eric Spencer were running the drama club. They ran it for 4 years before I came in full-time. They asked me to come in and do the music, conduct the music for their musicals. And so I did that for 4 years in a row. And after 4 years, Chris and Eric just didn't want to do it anymore. So that year, that fall, that September, there was no drama club happening here. So I remember being home, and I went to reach for my kitchen phone so I could call Mr. Egan, who was the principal at that time, so I could ask if I could apply for the job. So as I was reaching for the phone on my brother's phone, the phone rang, and it was Principal Egan calling me at my house, asking me if I would take the position. Choosing the play is a funny thing. I always need to make sure that I can choose a play that the kids can do, that they'll have a ball doing, and that I will enjoy doing. And that Helen, that Mrs. Blake will enjoy working out the costumes. So I don't want to do something that I don't enjoy. I always want to pick something that will give many kids a chance at having a lead. It's not always possible. Like when we did Oklahoma, there were only like 7 or 8 leads in that show, and the rest was chorus. But everything worked out fine for that thing, but that's why I chose Joseph. The setting of the play is way, way back, many centuries ago, not long after the Bible began, as the show starts. It's Egypt. It's a biblical story of Jacob and his 12 sons and his son Joseph, to whom he gave the multicolored coat. But I do think our school has a very, very good program. We work at it. There are, years ago when my sister moved downstairs from me, she expected me to be home a lot so we could socialize a lot, and she found out that I'm not, because I'm here quite a lot, working on the shows, working on the sets, working on the lights, and doing the stuff that we do, work on the props, and Helen's here working on costumes. But I enjoy the time, I enjoy the creativity, I respect and enjoy the freedom that the school gives me to be able to be here when I need to be here. I know a lot of other schools have restrictions with people to get into the building and work on sets and whatnot, but ORR has been phenomenal and allowing me to be here when I need to without all this other paperwork. And they're very supportive of the whole shows, the drama club.
Golden cup. Joseph started searching through his brother's sex. Everyone's nervous.
Brothers, not mother's sex.
It's a blast. There are so many things that the extracurricular activities do in our school. They give kids things to do after school. They don't have to be home. They don't have to be home by themselves. The drama club is a funny club, an unusual club, in that there are many places for people to be in this club. They don't have to be on stage. They can be in the orchestra. They can be working. They can work on lighting. They can work on sound. They can be a follow spot person. They can be a stage techie, work on stage right or stage left, or they can work on costumes, or they can. The nervous people and people that just really don't want to be that socially connected, well, just, okay, fine, I'll just do concessions. And little by little, the magic of this wonderful club is that I've seen student after student after student come through here, and they've blossomed because they've found a safe place to be. They found a place where, yeah, there's pressure, because when it comes showtime, the amount of people, the 114 high school people that are involved in this show, all know it's go time, and they all pull together and do the show. They work. The 114 high school kids, plus the 24 little kids that are in the show. It's a big cast. It's that joy and the hard work that we do with the kids, and watching all of it pull together, and watching them shine as brilliantly as I think they do come showtime. They do work really hard, and they are as honest as kids can be. We have people that come and see this show. People come from Boston, people come from Providence, people come from Central Mass, people come from Connecticut to see the shows here at the high school. And they don't even have kids connected with our school system, because they enjoy watching the level of the production level of the show. And they are nice enough to send notes back to the kids. They don't even know the kids. And they send cards to me saying, please tell the kids that we really enjoyed the production. They always say that it's a college level production for a high school. And I say, okay, great. We have an awful lot of kids that work on this stuff. And then that's why I like that. I love sharing little pearls like that with these kids here at the school. It's great to hear that. It's not just us and our little cocoon here, our wonderful aura cocoon. The tentacles reach out far.
Lots more besides.
50 plus shows that I've done here. I've loved every single one of them. You know, it's like anybody else that's working with these extracurricular activities. You fall in love with the kids that are on the track team, that are on the math team, that are on the debate team, and you get so psyched for them, and you get so involved in this thing. I always make sure I enjoy the show I'm working on, and I fall in love with the thing. This production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat will open March 30th. That's a Thursday night. And it'll run Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at 7:30. Then we'll have a Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock. And the tickets are $12 and for students and senior citizens and $15 for general public. We sell tickets in the cafeteria production week, first and fourth lunches. And if the students or faculty want to get a ticket for the first night of the show, instead of paying $12, they pay $5 for a Thursday night ticket. Come and see the show.
A fundraiser has been started here at ORR by the Transitional Special Education Program, an effort to recycle cans from the school in order to raise money. My co-anchor Connor interviewed Mr. Pereira, who has put the effort into action.
Most of you may know him as just Mr. P.
Hello, my name is Connor Farney, and I'm here with the Dog Pound Rundown interviewing Mr. P about the bottle and can drive. Mr. P, how did you guys come up with the idea to start this bottle drive?
Actually, it's Aiden Readings. It was his ideas. He's a student that comes in and helps us in the program and works with the kids. He came up with a great idea to have fundraising to help the program out.
That's awesome. How much money are you guys aiming to raise with this? You guys have a goal, or are you just kind of seeing how much you can get out of it?
Well, everything helps. I mean, there's no real goal, but the more the better.
Yeah, the more the merrier. Exactly. How do you think is the best way for people to help out?
Well, they're going to have the collection. It's going to be in front of the school. So just save your bottles and cans, and it helps the transition program. We have a lot of good projects. It's for the kids that graduated from ORR, 18 to 22. So we have a lot of things. Miss Becky Okolita is our leader. She came up with a lot of great ideas, such as the coffee cart. And we're looking maybe at a greenhouse. So she has got a lot of great ideas. Really, it's a really good program.
I am here with Miss Okolita, and she is in charge of the bottle and can drive. And when exactly will this be taking place, and where?
The bottle and can drive is on April 1st from 9 to 11:30 right here at the Old Rochester Regional High School parking lot.
Now, is this like sort of an experimental thing, or do you plan to do more things like this in the future if it's successful?
So this bottle and can drive was actually the idea of one of our student helpers. He's a sophomore here at the school, and I thought it was a wonderful way to get the community involved. And hopefully, if it's a success, we can continue to do things like this in the future. We are starting a garden here at the school, and we want to involve community members as well. We have our Bulldog Brew Cafe. We're out in the community twice a week. We're helping with trail maintenance and other great volunteer opportunities like the Hope Foundation. So we're just hoping for more exposure to the community. The can and bottle drive is another way for us to meet people that are hopefully willing to reach out to our group and work with us.
So what do you think is the best way that the community can come out and really get involved in this?
Well, we'd love you to come bring your bottles and cans on that day, just the redeemables, and we'll collect them for you, and we'll be bringing them over to a local can place to get our money, and we'd just love to see your faces on that day. Our students are really eager to be a part of this community, and we really appreciate everyone's support.
Awesome, and we definitely support you with that, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
On the subject of fundraisers, my co-anchor Jacob went out and interviewed Gabe Shriver, the class president of the junior class, about their bake sale. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Jacob Davis. I'm with a student running the bake sale. Gabe, what grade are you in?
I am a junior, the class president of my class, and it's been a great day down here so far. We changed it to a buy one, get one free since we had a lot of material, and the cheesecake was the first to go.
What is this money going towards?
It's going towards my class, the junior class, and hopefully so we can have a good semi.
Who makes the items for the bake sale?
Mostly the junior class, but there were some lazy ones that went out and bought cupcakes and Chips Ahoy, and those weren't hot sellers today.
Anything else your class does to raise money?
In the near future, we're looking to have a car wash to get some more funds for our class.
Lastly, we will finish with sports. The ORR Bulldogs boys basketball team put on a great season, bringing the school together and reviving the Dog Pound. Sadly, the season came to an end, losing 51-57 against a great Hanover team. The seniors put on a fantastic effort and a great season to end on.
Last Wednesday, March 15th, the ORR hockey team put up a great game against Lowell, beating them 5-1. Here are some highlights from the game. Now it's that time of the show where we go to Mr. Devoll for the week ahead.
Okay, it's the rundown. Today is March 19th. It's Sunday. I hope we're celebrating a state championship in boys ice hockey. It's the best team in school history. It's been an awesome ride for all the players, coaches, and especially the school community. They're playing today, 1 o'clock at the TD Garden in Boston against Shrewsbury. We wish them luck. We hope that we'll be celebrating a state championship, another state championship for the Bulldogs tomorrow. So Monday, March 20th is a day 8 in our cycle, and again, hopefully we're celebrating with our team. It's kind of a slow day at school on Monday, which is probably a good thing. In the evening, there'll be a phone-a-thon for the Booster Club. The boys and girls soccer will be there for the phone-a-thon, and football. It's a big night to raise money for scholarships and for supplies for our athletic department. Also that evening on the 20th, there's a budget meeting. It's a pretty big time in the district as we set our school budget for the following year. That's a 6:30 meeting in the high school cafeteria. And finally, there's drama rehearsal. We are approaching Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, the show and production week at the end of the month of March. Tuesday, March 21st is day 1st, day 1 in the cycle. Big day for our 10th graders. It's the first of 3 days of English MCAS testing. So we want our sophomores to come to school well rested, ready to test, and to do their best. There's a lot of incentive for students to perform well on that English MCAS test. So that's happening blocks 1 and 2 on Tuesday. Tuesday evening, a nice way to kind of slow things down for students. To come out to the form concert. There's a form concert at 6:30. It's the choral concert. So all the choruses from grades 5, 6 through grade 12 in the district will be performing at 6:30. It's a scholarship concert in the high school gymnasium. Wednesday, March 22nd, day 2 in the cycle. We're back to more MCAS testing for our sophomores. Again, testing will be in English during blocks 1 and 2. We will continue our phone-a-thon that evening. Thursday, March 23rd, day 3 in our cycle. We're talking more MCAS, the last of 3 days of English MCAS testing. It's only a 1-block test on Thursday. Good luck to all of our sophomores. Do your best, work your hardest, and when in doubt, keep writing. And finally, Friday, March 24th, day 4 in our cycle, we have a 9th grade field trip. Our 8th graders at the junior high and the 9th graders at the senior high school will be taking a field trip to the Zeiterion in New Bedford to see a performance called Drug Story Theater. Drug Story Theater came to Old Rochester a couple years ago in the evening. It's a pretty powerful show. It's a improv theater style presentation by real-life high school age students who are in recovery from addiction. It's part of their recovery. They perform. I saw it 2 years ago. It was probably the most powerful thing I've seen in my 15 years of education. So our 8th and 9th graders, it's a free field trip. It's during blocks 2 and 3. They'll get on a bus. They'll go to the Zeiterion next Friday. And I would imagine there'll be lots to talk about after as they see real-life students that are dealing with issues of addiction and recovery, and it's pretty powerful. And finally, Friday evening, our science fiction club is hosting a game night here at the high school. That's the rundown from the principal's office. We want to thank you for watching, and go Bulldogs on Sunday in ice hockey.
Well, that about does it for tonight's episode.
I'm Jacob. Thank you for watching.
And I'm Connor. Good night, and good luck.